Swift Day.
Holy Quran, Holy Quran, Holy Quran, Holy Quran.
They want me to change, but some things just can't be rewritten. Gotta God's light, a light, they're all true and living. Authentic, like this book I hold in palm. With mercy, embrace all things. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. They want me to change, want me to range. Locked up in cage, head full of rage. It's insane, the percentage of my niggas that's gone. And all my niggas that's home, hold your head and stay strong. What's happening in the White House got my black thoughts running. Deeply rooted in this evil, I'm trying to crop out something. And plant these good seeds in mine, hope they see the signs. Why my people down, Vines, Twitter, Facebook Live. Desensitized by murder, murder, bloody murder. Likes and retweets, no helping hands, just all observers. Hype converters, wage surfers, they don't serve no purpose. Government of the service, God save us, we out here living worthless. They want me to change, but some things just can't be rewritten. Got a God's light, a light, they're all true and living. Authentic, like this book I hold in palm. With mercy, embrace all things. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. Holy Quran. They trying to crucify me for my originality. They say a man's worth depends on salary. But what's money with selfish ways and no one's proud of me? The ugly truth got fat pockets and high calories. A gluttonous approach with a selfish mentality. The wicked ways of sin.
Waiting on Jesse and the gang to get up here. Y'all know what we about to do. That was Stally rapping, Courtney. Get that link, Courtney. You know I'm moderating, so ain't nobody getting muted out or none of that weird stuff tonight, man. I got you, man.
Open up a business. Haters gon' watch when you kill every murder case got a witness. Whole life going through the blues. Coming from the bottom, do you feel it? Being wrong, leave a hole in your soul. Put your fists in the air, black folk, if you feel me. See, I came from the bottom, no lights, no gas. You can get robbed, no pipe, no mask. Throw a tea party, don't invite your ass. Now your belly got tissue to wipe your ass. It ain't no love from the government. Every president been on some selfish shit. Young niggas busting shit. No, I'm not loving it. This is the option they stuck me with. Grind hard till I'm filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, rich, you feel me? Grind hard till I'm filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, filled it, rich, you feel me?
Assalamu alaikum. I muted your mic. You gotta unmute it. Can you hear me, Jesse? Assalamu alaikum. You muted if you're trying to talk.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, brother. Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam. How you feeling?
Alhamdulillah.
Same.
Doing well, man.
You know, we had to get you back for another episode of Prove Me Wrong. The show that's got the internet going crazy right now, man. They've been tracking you down, trying to turn you from a lie, trying to tell you the Quran ain't this, that is that. How you feel about this, man? You loving the attention?
Wait. I'm loving the attention. You already know I'm standing my ground. There hasn't been no one to come with nothing better yet. I'm still waiting. I went ahead and sent that that post out. I'm hoping to see some people come through. You know, it's a little late, but I think we might still get a little something.
Little traction going, little traction going.
Uh
So,
huh.
what you been studying lately as far as the Quran is concerned?
Uh, I'm supposed to be focused in on crime preservation, being that I got that debate with Mike, and then I also have to look more into the scriptures, just to prepare for swab boss as well, being that we believe that Allah is God, not the black woman. So I'm going to be definitely looking for some verses that's going to focus on that concept. That debate's on the 24th. Just to remind everybody.
Just to remind everybody, that debate is on the 24th, January 24th, only here, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments here at the Titans Debate League. We will be streaming it on our sister channel at Coliseum of Arguments as well. Make sure you add us over there. And you know what? Since you went ahead and brought that up, we might as well go ahead and play the commercial for that. You know what I'm saying? One
For
time for
sure,
the
for
one
sure.
time. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas don't just clash, they collide. This isn't a conversation, this isn't a panel, this is intellectual combat. In one corner, the voice of the radical reinterpretation, the challenger of ancient frameworks, the man who says divinity isn't in the clouds, it's in the creator of civilization itself. Suave Boss, a man bold enough to declare the black woman is God. Not a metaphor, not symbolism, foundation. And in the opposing corner, a defender of revelation, a believer in submission to the one, a man standing firmly on divine law and sacred text. Jesse Valdez, a Muslim, a monotheist, a man who says Allah is God, singular, eternal, unmatched. This is not about insults, this is about worldviews. The black woman versus Allah. Who is God? History, identity, power, spiritual authority. Are you not entertained?
Hey, let's go. January 24th. Make sure you hit that link. Smash that bell so you get a notification every time we go live so you don't miss this one here. Definitely going to be fire. I'm excited for this one, Jesse. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, same here, man. It's going to be a showdown with me and the Suave Boss. I'm not taking the Suave Boss lightly by no means. I hear he's built a reputation for his debating skills. But no matter how good he is, I plan on taking him down.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited to see it. We will have the official judges out for this one. It's going, man. It's going. So what topics have you been studying lately as far as the Quran is concerned?
Uh, there's a Quran verse that speaks about. I'm gonna pull it up in a little bit, but it talks about how uh, you can't really Allah does not change the condition.
Oops, hold on, my bad. I hit the wrong button. I removed you from the stage. I meant to take down the ad. Sorry, say that again, and
I was
I'll pull up
saying
that
that
verse for you.
it's going to be a Quran verse that says that Allah does not change the condition for people except that they change it for themselves.
What
So
verse is that?
that let me pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah, and I'll share it on the screen for you.
All right.
Everybody can get a bite of that at home. You feel me? January 24th, man. I'm excited, man. You, Suave Boss, the Gauntlet. It's going down, man. Titans Debate League has got it going for 2026, man. That's for sure, man.
Give me
And
a
shout out
second.
all my Titans out there. Tighten up.
It's going to be Quran 13:11.
Quran 13:11. 13:11. Here we go. Quran.com. Let me share my screen. I hope Quran.com is a-okay for you. Here we go. For each one are successive before and behind him who protect him by the decree of Allah. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. And when Allah intends for a people ill, there is no repelling it, and there is not for them besides him any patron.
Yeah, so that verse has been, a very
Okay.
important verse to me, especially lately. You know,
Where'd you go, Jesse? I didn't kick you. That wasn't me. I didn't touch it that time. But until he gets back, I'll go ahead and read this again. I actually like this one because it resonates with me spiritually. Um, it's something that I've heard in many different places and spaces and many different spiritual spaces. If you want to fix what's the outside world first, you have to go within and fix, what's inside of you. If you can't change what you're reacting to, change how you react to it. It kind of makes me think of that. And I'll read it again. It goes, and again, we're on Quran.com. This is Quran 13:11. And it reads, for each one are successive before and behind him who protect him by the decree of Allah. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. And when Allah intends for a people ill, there is no repelling it, and there is not for them besides him any patron. Um, Let me see if I can pull up something that I've seen that kind of correlates to this until Jesse gets back. He's having some connection issues over there. And let me see if this comes up when I type it in on Google. If I fix myself, things will get better. And I think we have Jesse back. Yes, yes, we do. We do. Shout out Allah's most gracious warrior. You're back.
yeah, my bad, my bad.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah, but I was saying, this verse has been very important to me, especially lately in my life, where I'm in a path, uh, in the right direction with my business. But, this verse highlights the fact that us human beings are so important that each of us have an angel before and after us. But regardless of these angels that we have, God does not change the condition for us that we change it for ourselves. So it basically states that if you want better in your life, or if you want success, you gotta make the moves yourself to achieve that success.
Definitely agree with that one right here. This is a powerful scripture right here.
Yeah, that one I've been overly focused on. Um, I definitely took it to heart, and right now I'm basically in a position where during the holidays, um, my business was taking a little bit of a hit because there was less markets. But rather than focus on the loss of the markets, I basically pivoted my business to a position where now I'm basically selling it at Crunch Fitness. I moved forward rather than soaking in what was going on.
Congratulations on that, man. Doing numbers, I see. That's what's up. That's what's up. I can't find. I was looking for this meme that correlates to this. It was a spiritual saying, but I can't find it. But yeah, again, I like this one. This is 13:11. Very powerful scripture right here. I like what you're doing with it. I needed this one today. A lot of people need to go meditate, get their mind right, make some of their prayers, and then, things will get better. When things get better inside, things will be better in the outside world. It all starts within, man. Do you think this verse is talking about inner peace right here?
Uh, yeah, I do think so. It's maybe not directly, but ultimately, you're definitely going to achieve some inner peace. Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely does talk inner peace because you could be like, dealing with work and
You
stuff like
have
that. You're
bad
in a
connection
position where,
issues. You're chopping in and out.
all right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hold on, let me see. Okay. So I was saying, yeah, this definitely is going to be dealing with inner peace, being that if you're in a position where you're not really receiving inner peace, you can pivot your life in a way to where you can receive that inner peace. Rather it be financially, the physical state that you're in. Maybe I've been more focused on the financial aspect of it, but it could also be dealing with you know maybe your physical state, maybe you don't like the way you look or something like that. You can go to the gym and start working out rather than being focused on what you don't have. Also, your mental state, what I'm saying, if you're having some mental issues, rather than just focus on the fact that you have the mental issues, you can position yourself, rather it be going to seek help, or just maybe even just talking to one of your nearest friends to get yourself out of that mental block.
Big facts, man. A lot of people needed to hear this one today. You feel me? I know I definitely did, man. I'm about to go get right as soon as this one go off. You heard me?
Yeah,
And again, January 24th, you got your debate. What's the title again?
it's who is God, Allah or the black woman? And I'm on the side of Allah.
Yep, we got to get that one ready. January 24th. That one's going to be fire, man. That one's going to be fire. I'm trying to see what other positions you can stand on inside of Islam and some that you can stand on outside of Islam. So I'm excited to see how you do. Maybe you'll get in the next tournament that we have rolling too as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Inshallah, yes.
and I wonder if when he says the black woman is God, he's speaking like literally or figuratively, literally or symbolically. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, but I guess he gave his definition, so I guess that stands. Um, so I would say he's not a monotheist. He believes every black woman's God. You feel me?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's yeah, interesting. I'm
And then,
excited to see this one here on the platform.
yeah, me too. I definitely intend on bringing out some scripture to back my point. Um, I'm curious to see how he's going to refute it. Don't get me wrong. The black woman has done some major things in our life, within our history. But as far as like um, a scripture, or how they've how do you say, they don't have a scripture or anything like that. So I'm interested to see how he's going to show uh you know how the black woman has created the heavens or earth, or what is it that the black woman has created, uh, that only a God can create.
Mm. You broke up a little bit, but I heard you say only God can create at
Yeah,
the end. Yep, don't give away all your talking points now. Save some for
you're
the
right,
debate.
right, right, right.
Save some for the
Exactly.
debate. We're gonna get that coming up soon, man. Uh, what topics do you want to stand on today? Do you want people to come up here and try to prove you wrong on?
Well, I'm always standing up on pure monotheism. Allah is the only God. I'm standing up on superiority on Scripture. I'm making the claim that Allah's Scripture is more superior to any of the previous scriptures. Um, these are going to be some of the topics that I plan on standing on probably consistently. But yeah, I mean, anything regarding that, is your God better than my God? Is the correct name of Allah rather it be Yahweh or Allah or whatever name that somebody has to stand on? I plan on going wherever the crowd wants to go on these topics.
I'm gonna give you a little back and forth tonight, man, just to give you some practice, man. If nobody else hops up here, I got to think of some too. You gave some good titles. Um, I got to think of a couple. Like, is atheism a more rational position than Islam, um, or agnostic? Um,
Can you hear me?
yes, 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 yes.
You were saying something about the Gnostic.
I was going to say, is agnostic a more rational conclusion, or blind, or Islam, or I had some topics too. You know,
Some of the things that are with the text are going to be good. And that the Quran is going to be the supreme authority over those scriptures.
you're breaking up.
I think within the I was saying I think within the Gnostic text, they typically still believe in the concept of multiple deities, which we totally deny. But there are some texts that the Quran does confirm, as far as the the bird that Jesus turned made into a reality, Jesus's uh, non-crucifixion.
Okay, let's delve
So
into
I
ethics
think there is
and
I think there
morals.
is some.
I was going to say, I kind of want to delve into ethics and morals. Do you think that the moral foundation that the Quran sets forward is and should be adhered to today, or do you think it could be upgraded? Do you think it's perfect? That's perfect in every way?
Yeah, I definitely do think that the Quran's word is going to be perfect in every way. It's supposed to be set for the throughout the rest of time. Even though we have laws today that might contradict the Quran, I think that the Quran's law is gonna be the superior law. It's just human beings have put their input in, and I don't necessarily deny the human experience or the what human beings input is as far as laws, but um morally speaking, I think what we have in the Quran is perfect.
And you don't think it could be upgraded over time? Like, because that's
Uh,
what, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Secular ethics probably would bring.
yeah, definitely not. I definitely think that what is set there, and there is no change, no matter how far we get into civilization.
Okay. I think that it's the other way around, but I think there are things that can be upgraded, changed. I think there are things that completely weren't touched on, that should have been, and it makes it seem like, in light of what's mentioned and what's not, that what's mentioned would be more important than all this other stuff that the Quran doesn't touch on. Um, generally stuff like that. I No upgrade in morals over time. So you think this 2,000-year-old book is the way to live today? 100% completely.
Yeah, I think you know what I kind of do agree with your thesis or what you just said as far as there's some things that the Quran does not
You dropped off for a second. You still there?
a base of moral ethics. I think the Quran is going to be so. Of course, humanity can um, make some laws that regarding things that the Quran has not touched on. But I just think that the basis of law should begin with the Quran.
Hmm. So, where do morality comes from the Quran, according to you? Is that what you believe?
Can I get some spicy ketchup? Yeah, I mean, just two. So I think originally it's going to come from the Bible, the Torah, then the Gospel, and then the Quran is going to be the final one. So definitely, yeah. I think as of today, we should be getting our moral understanding of morals through the Quran rather than the other two books that I mentioned.
So, do you think something that was once morally right in the Bible or the Torah or the Quran can be universally wrong if everybody agrees upon it?
No, I don't. I think if society goes against uh, what the Quran has stated, I think that the Quran is going to be superior. So I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There are things that we do today that we don't do back then, but I don't necessarily think that we should take away from what was given back then. I think the basis of morality should be based on the Quran.
Okay, I'll just use that to say as an example. One thing that we've definitely agreed is wrong today is slavery. It's universally accepted that that's wrong. Um, but it was legal in the Quran. So, do you agree with slavery? I mean, I'm assuming you don't, but I'm still just going to ask.
Well, the Quran, there is slavery is permitted within the Quran. So I do think morally it's correct. Can be some benefits from freeing slaves, but I still
There
I still
can be
accept.
some benefits from freeing slaves. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
but if the Quran says that slavery is permissible, I don't think I'm big enough to say otherwise. I think what the Quran says is going to be correct. Also, slavery did not start with the Quran. This is also something that was in the Bible. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a human being with compassion. So I definitely don't. I love to see our people free. I love to see people get freed from slavery. But
Wow. I'm listening. I'm listening.
I do think that morally speaking, slavery is still permissible, and I think that it's correct in what it's decided.
What?
Yeah, I definitely don't agree. I think it's morally unacceptable. I think that to attribute the creator to an atrocity like that being bestowed upon mankind and regulated by him um, makes him makes him evil, like one of the most evil terrorists ever. That's just how I feel personally. Um, not I'm not attacking you necessarily, but more the doctrine and the dogmas of the faith. Uh, yeah, I'm not with that. I can't get jiggy with the slavery, but I already know where you're coming from, and I respect it. I respect that you are honest about your position and your belief in Allah's word. That's dope that you can do that. Most people, they're very disingenuous when it comes to these topics. You know what I'm saying? To say the least. So, another one, no. We said slavery was one that we agreed was socially deemed unacceptable, but is permitted in the Bible. But that was just to go with the first question. Do you think something could be changed? If something in the Quran was deemed universally wrong, would you accept it, or do you think it could be right? And you said no. And I was going over slavery, and you're sticking true to what you said. What about genocide? Do you think genocide uh, is universally wrong?
I do
And
think
can
that
be universally wrong if society approves of it.
genocide is going to be universally wrong. The Quran actually talks about that as well. So we're not allowed to kill unless it be for like punishable reasons. So like if someone kills somebody else, and then we kill them uh of their action, that's permissible. But ultimately, genocide. The Quran is going to speak against this as well.
It speaks against genocide. Um,
The Quran
okay.
is going the Quran is going to say something along the lines that uh, the similitude of killing one human being is like killing all of humanity.
Okay. Well, some people label divine judgment and God killing large groups of people as genocide, or instructing other people to kill large groups of people as a genocide. So, but I
Yeah.
understand your perspective definitely. Yeah, let's go to the next one. We getting these good, honest answers up out of Jesse. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just getting an understanding for you know how you think and how deep your love is for Allah. You know. The next one, racial segregation, um, eugenics, torture, child labor, marital rape. These are all things we've universally deemed morally unacceptable, but we find in the Quran. Um, your take on those? Did it drop off? Nah, he dropped off and he's back.
My bad, brother.
Yeah, no, you good. I don't know if you heard me. I was pushing back on you for a little bit. I was saying a few other things that we deemed culturally unacceptable, that are in the Quran still right now to this day: torture, child labor, marital rape. Uh, as we went over the other day when you were on here, God regulates rules on how to maintain sex slaves, stuff like that. What's your take on that stuff?
Uh, so I don't, of course, male rape is going to be um, non-permissible within the Quran. Um,
I haven't seen that
now,
in there. Male rape? Phew.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking about males raping men?
They taking boy butt? I ain't seen that in there,
No,
but
okay, okay, no, 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 no. Oh,
I,
I misunderstood what you were saying.
I ain't seen that. I ain't seen
No,
that in the
no.
Quran. I ain't gonna
Okay.
put nothing on the Quran that ain't in there. But women? It definitely gives rules on how to slaughter a whole village, take the virgins, keep them for yourselves, and what to do before you force yourselves on them. So to me, that seems like giving rules and regulating um, sexual assault. So I don't
I,
know
I
how else.
think I think that's going to be more biblical, but I do see where you're coming from as far as similar to that we do have in the Quran, captives of war and what to do with the
Definitely more
captives of war.
biblical. But can I ask you a question? Is that the Christian God or is that Allah?
Uh,
Because you say
I'll say
biblical as if you're making a differentiation between your God and hey, this
for
is
the
another
devil
person's
in your
belief
ear
system. But what do you mean when you say that's more biblical? Because isn't your book a continuation of that?
So that's going to be a you almost quoted that verse from the Bible word for word. All right, I'll take the cheese.
Order me one too, Jesse.
Medium. Oh, give me a second, brother.
Don't worry about it. While you're doing that, we'll go to a word from our sponsors real quick while you get that answer together, served up nice for us.
Let's pause the noise for a second
Okay.
because if you're still here right now, you're already
All right,
different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This
I just, dang, where'd he go? He done dropped off. Sometimes when I play the ad, it'll be kicking people off, man. StreamYard been tweaking for the past couple of days. There you go. There you go. My bad about that. I don't know if the ad did that to you or what. I just wanted to see my little graphic. I put that together today.
no, that was perfect timing. That was perfect timing.
Hey, bet. Okay, so we were talking about the verse where pretty much, yeah, it is in the Bible where you know God pretty much condones essay and gives rules and regulates on how to treat someone who you're about to essay. You know, he tells people they can go in, kill the whole village, keep the virgins for themselves, make them shave their head and nails, let them mourn for 30 days before you force yourselves upon them. And then it says that if you don't want them, you can't sell them since you forced yourself on them. You have to let them stay free. You can't turn them into slaves at that point. But if you want, you can marry them. So you said, well, that's more biblical. That was your response to that. To me, that seems like you're trying to make a differentiation between Christianity and Islam as if Islam isn't supposed to be the trilogy to that. As if your book didn't come to fix the errors. Did it fix that error? Was
I
that
would say
you consider
so.
that an error as well? That's two questions. My bad.
Uh, I don't think that's an error, but I do think that so when Allah came down with the Quran, it's that was a law for a specific people at a specific time. The Quran is going to be like a more updated version of that law. So the Quran verse that I have is going to be 424. It says also forbidden are married women except the female captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment to you. Lawful to you are to seek beyond these, as long as you seek with them your wealth in legal marriage, not in fornication. Uh, give those who you have consummated marriage with their due dowries. It's permissible to be mutually gracious regarding the said dowry. Surely Allah is all knowing, all wise. So I think this is going to be a more updated version of that previous law. I think we had this conversation before that was not really recorded, but I do think that ideally, even though that the women are captives of war, that you're supposed to marry them before
Um,
you commit this act of fornication.
yeah, we went over this on another episode because it actually has these verses in the Quran, not just in the Bible, but same stuff, and it didn't differentiate. That was our topic of debate that day. Does the
Yeah.
Quran say you have to marry the slave first before you have sex with them? And I think I got you on that one that day. It didn't make a distinction. It just gave a rule on what on that they're allowed to have sex with them. It didn't say you had to marry them first or any of that.
No.
It
So
has
so
to be a
424 is gonna say that you have to marry them, but yeah, and this is dealing with the captives of
well,
war.
it doesn't say you have to marry your sex slaves right there.
No, it does. It says also forbidden are married women except female captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment to you. Lawful to you
Hold
are
on, stop right. Can we go back? I- Let's take it slow though. I don't want to cut you off, and I'm not gonna fast talk you when I cut you off. I just want to slow it down a little bit. Can you go back and read that again for me? And I'll
it
tell you when
says
to stop.
also forbidden are married women except female captives in your possession.
Stop right there. Also forbidden are married women except female captives. So it's saying, hey, if you got a female, whatever, you don't have to be married to her, and you can sleep with her. Um,
No. When you continue to read the verse, it tells you that you still have to take them within in lawful marriage.
read it in full so we can get the context again. I pulled it up, but I don't see it as on 421. I'm on the Sahih International. It didn't read the same way yours did. I'll read this one and share the screen actually right now.
It's 424.
Okay, I'm gonna share the screen and show you what I have. I don't know which version of the Quran you're reading from, or which
Solid International is fine.
this one's good right here. Okay, Sahih
Yeah,
International,
I like
and
Solid
it says,
International.
"And married women, except those your right hand possesses," which is the captive. That's slang for captive. Um, somebody who your right hand possesses. It
Correct.
says, and now I'll start back from the top. Now that I've given that context on what that phrase means, it says, "And married women, except those your right hand
Thank you.
possesses. The decree of Allah upon you, and lawful to you are all others beyond these, provided that you seek them in marriage with gifts." It said, "And lawful to you are all others beyond these." So it's saying outside of this, you got to marry. It's saying beyond these, you got to marry a woman. That line right there, "and lawful to you are all others beyond these, provided that you seek them in marriage with gifts from your property." So it's making a distinction. You can be married to someone and still have sex. I mean, SA your slave, and you don't have to marry her. That's what this is saying, actually, right here. Um, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I got you last time on this one. It's
No,
funny we
so
came back
we,
to
we
this.
didn't pull this. We didn't pull this verse last time. Last time it was a different verse, but I take that. I'm saying. All right, hold on, let me read it. It says, "And lawful to you are all others beyond these, provided that you." So when it says beyond these, it's saying also. So like beyond these people, other like everybody else is lawful to you. Within this. I don't think this beyond these is an exclusion. It's saying beyond these, everybody else is lawful to you as well, so long as you marry them.
Let me see something real quick. Keep talking though. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay. So another translation is going to be the Mustaf Kitab. It says, also forbidden are married women except female captives in your possession. This is Allah's command to you. Lawful to you are all beyond these, as long as you seek uh, them with your wealth in legal marriage, not in fornication.
Yeah.
Give those who you consummated marriage with
It
their due
said
dowries.
so
It is
again, so
permissible
when it
to be
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
it is permissible to be mutually gracious regarding the set of dowry. Surely Allah is all knowing, all wise.
When it says prohibited to you are all beyond these except, so it's telling you, hey, you can do that to these people. Well, it's saying you can't have sex with an unmarried woman. I mean, with a married woman. All this is prohibited to you except those who your right hand possesses, and everybody else is prohibited except for those who you're seeking to marry. So it makes a distinction. It puts them all in different groups, or else they would just be over there with the other group. Uh,
Well, I believe that they are with the other group, but the reason why it places us like that is because the captives of war are going to be a special circumstance. So I think it's pretty obvious that everybody outside of captives of war are permissible for you to be married, but in this circumstance, this is declaring that maybe the captive of war was previously married before you captured her. So it's making it clear that you can marry those captives of war, and everybody else is beyond the captives of war are good to you as well. It's very necessary for them to include this captives of war, because otherwise you probably wouldn't know that it's permissible for you to marry them.
okay, let me share my screen. I went to Chat GPT. I typed in Quran 4:24. Does this say you have to marry the slave? Because that's what you're telling me right now. It says, I'll read it from the top and go all the way to the bottom. You're asking about Quran 4:24. This is a verse often misunderstood or misrepresented. So let's break it down carefully and accurately. And let's see if I'm misrepresenting what this is saying, or if it actually does say that you have to marry the slave. One, the verse, Sahih translation, um, and forbidden to you are women already married, except those whom your right hand possesses, which would be a captive. This is a decree of Allah on you, and lawful to you beyond these. And then it goes into what we were saying, are women who you're seeking to marry. Which again, I'm showing you that that sentence in the middle. This is a decree upon you and lawful to you beyond all these, separates these women and creates a distinction. And it says, you have to marry these other women, but these you don't. Um, that's what I'm saying. Let's see if I'm right or if I'm misrepresenting it. Two, what it means. Right hand possesses refers to captives or slaves taken during war in the 7th century context. The verse permits sexual relations with female captives slash slaves under certain conditions before modern abolition of slavery. It does not say you must marry them. Marriage is not required for sexual relations in this specific historical context. Okay, so and then I'm going to ask for a source on that. But yeah, let's get to this. So I would be right according to AI, but again, let's get to. I'm going to get a source on that and see where it's sourcing this from to see if it's valid or not. We're not just going to take Chat GPT and run with it. Number three, classical commentary. The verse discusses what is lawful for men in wartime, including captives. It is not a command to marry. Sexual relations with slaves were permitted, but not obligatory. If a slave woman converts to Islam, ethical treatment is emphasized. Okay, that's important to know. Number four, I guess they considered that progressive at the time, but I'm not impressed. Just convert her and then give her her morals, her dignity. No, I'm not into that. Number four, modern context. Slavery is universally abolished. So this verse is not particularly applied today. Islamic scholars use this verse as a historical legal ruling, not a modern moral instruction. Marriage is never required by this verse. Um, okay. So let me get a number. Give me a source for number two. Sources for number two. Uh, Sorry about that. Sources for number two. All right. Sources. It's citing the Quran, the Quran, the Quran. We already know that. Contemporary scholarly sources, slavery and Islam, the historical context of the Quran, 424. M.A. Farouk explains the verse refers to wartime captives and does not mandate marriage. Okay. Jonathan A.C. Brown, Slavery in Islam, clarifies that the Quran's permission was legal and historical, not a command for marriage. Um, K.C. Ali, Sexual Ethics in Islam, notes that my malakat refers to female captives and that marriage is optional, regulated ethically. When they say regulated ethically, that means that if you were converted, ethics were emphasized. uh, Outside of that, you got none. So, academic historical sources, Bernard Lewis, Race and Slavery in the Middle East, explains the historical context of slavery in early Islam, emphasizing that 424 addresses permissible conduct with captives, not compulsory marriage. Um, so again, yeah, we have a list of sources here backing, what I'm saying right now.
Do you
Let
can
me
you
see if
go to the
let me just
can you
ask it.
focus on the historical ones? Can you focus on the historical ones as far as like maybe the companions of the prophet and what they would have said on this matter?
Of course, and we could definitely pull some of those up. Shout out Jesus Lover, haven't seen you over here in a while. How you been? Great, great. You're muted. I can't hear you if you're trying to answer me right now. You having technical issues over there, Jesus Lover? All right, we'll try back, but you're muted right now. If you are trying to talk, you have to unmute yourself, and then we'll be able to hear you.
Oh no, no, I'm here. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, jump in anytime you're ready. You want to focus on the historical sources, you said, correct?
Yeah, the private. If you can look more into what the companions of the prophets would have said,
The companions of the prophets. Uh the
because there's
companions of the prophets. What
or maybe
text did they
Tasfir,
write? Where were
the
that?
Tasfir, the Tasfir on this verse.
And look for the Tasfir on this verse. Okay, I got you. How you spell Tasfir? Tasfir?
Yeah.
And what makes you only use the Tasfir and ignore all of the other extra biblical sources and commentary and the
Well,
biblical
I think
sources and commentary?
it, it's not necessarily that I ignore the other commentary and things of that nature. There might be a possibility that they are correct, but I just know when we're dealing with the Tasfir, these are people who actually like walked with the Prophet Muhammad. So I think as far as like commentary and things of that nature, they would have been like just the most accurate.
Okay, it says absolutely. Here's a okay, that's not what I'm looking for. A debate summary. I'm not looking for a summary. Uh, And forbidden to you are women already married, except those whom your right hand possesses. This is a decree of Allah upon you, and lawful to you are all beyond these. One classical tafsir explanations. Those whom your right hand possesses equals female captives taken in war, emphasizes permissible sexual relations, not mandatory marriage. Um, and this is the tafsir. Explains that all other women already married are forbidden. Ethical treatment of captives is required. I don't know what they mean by ethical if you're allowed to force yourselves sexually on them. But, that's, a question that we have. We'll get to it one day soon, I'm sure. Confirms that sex with female captives is lawful but not compulsory. Discusses consent and conversion. If a captive converts to Islam, ethical behavior is emphasized. In this historical context of the 7th century Arabia and wartime norms. So, and that was the Cure Tubi. But yeah, um, yeah, the Tafsir says that captives. It says that you could SA your slaves without marrying them. So that's the one you wanted me to pull up.
Does it say who the top spirit who gave it?
Ibn Kathir.
Okay, all right. Well, then in that case, I have no argument against that.
Okay, Ibn Kathir. That's who you rock with. The Tafsir
I'm
from Ibn
I'm working
Kathir.
with the top sphere. Yeah, I'm working with the top sphere of pretty much all the companions. But yeah, if he said it's that way, then it's that way.
So at what point does this get alarming to you? This book says you're allowed to have slaves, you're allowed to essay them, and
It doesn't. It never gets alarming for me. I might not have thought it was that way previously, but ultimately, I, I'm I am subject to the laws of the Quran. I don't think that there is any incorrectness within them. So if the prophet says it's that way and the companions also agree that it's that way, then it's that way.
so I'm under the impression that you want to go back to the laws of the Quran today, right? Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
So you want to go back to slavery and essaying the captives, female captives. That's what the Quran mandates. So that's what we would be going back to.
I don't argue against this. It's
Oh
not.
wow.
Yeah, I don't argue against it. I think, like I said, the Quran is going to be my moral authority. So if the Quran says it's permissible and the Prophet and the companions have decreed that's the proper what is that word, context on how to view that situation, then I think what is said is absolutely 100% correct, and a moral judgment.
And that link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up here. I'm just light saucing it on Jesse today, and he's not disingenuous. So there's no point in I don't. It's not about dragging him around the room. It's really just about getting an understanding for how deep his love for Allah is. Yeah, I don't think that if they brought slavery and essaying your captives back today, that I would agree with that. I would think that's morally wrong, no matter if they said Allah or Jesus decreed it or Moses or any of them. So, that's always been a big thing for me and something that made me walk away from religion, period, was once I saw that it controlled the mind and the moral compass of the people. And it has shifted. I better understood why we have the society we have today. We're worshiping a jealous, vengeful, homicidal deity who can't find a peaceful way to reach his creations. And I think that with that example being set, you know, we were doomed before we started practicing and even following any of these religions. But yeah, again, that link is in the chat. If anybody wants to hop up here and challenge Jesse, I'm
Well,
just having some fun. Go
yeah.
ahead,
Well,
Jesse.
you already know that I believe that the Quran is my moral authority. Prior to this conversation, I was thinking that that the captives were that you had to be married to them prior to taking um doing sexual intercourse, but ultimately, being that the Quran is still my moral authority, that's not going to really change based on based on this verse. But ultimately, my perception.
Mm. See, this verse right here alone is why the Quran could never be my moral authority. Once I
Yeah,
realized my morals and ethics were higher than that of the God I was supposed to be serving, that was a problem for me. I had to do some
I just had me
self-evaluating
personally.
on
I
where
was gonna say
the path I was walking. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say that I thought I had a well, my me learning this basically means that I have to I just have to change my perception on that. So like I was telling you, I believe that you had to marry your captives before um having sexual intercourse with them. But once again, being that the Quran is my moral authority, um, I believe what that verse is saying, and what the commentary on that verse regarding the Tasfir is going to be 100% correct, and basically I'm updating my moral judgment based on that.
Mm. I don't think you should. I don't think it's an update. I think you're going back. I mean, it's a 2,000-year-old book, 2,000-year-old moral compass, and you're trying to adopt it in today. I think it's an error. Um, but to each their own. Again, I'm not here to pound religion into the ground, but I am going to put the gloves on and spar a little bit today. Uh, that's it. You got it all out of me. That was my major point of contention with Islam, and one of the major reasons why I couldn't do a shahada, because I didn't believe in my heart that that didn't resonate with me. I didn't believe in my heart that that was right. That morally I should be accepting that as what we follow today. So I don't know. It was a lot. It was deep for me when I had read this and looked into this.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, man. Like I said, you already know. I'm rocking with my book 100%.
Let's
Um,
go. Let's go.
the, yeah. Yeah, I take my moral authority from that scripture. Um, so going forward now, I know that based off of what was said, if I'm ever in a war and I take captives of war, these actions are definitely permissible to me as long as it's permissible within the law.
Okay. I hear you. Everybody, if you ever going to war with Jesse, remember that he gonna have you in that basement like Pulp Fiction now.
Hey, that's right, brother. Hey, if you go to war with me and I take your wife, well, not your wife actually, but if I take one of the brothers' wives in as a captive of war, you know what I can do.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. It's getting wild. It's getting wild. That's crazy. I'm the only one brave enough to challenge you today, brother. That's crazy, man. Even though I kept it light, man. I don't want to. Behind closed doors, uh, we'll, I'll press harder. Pause. But yeah, because we're gonna make you a titan. We're gonna make a titan out of you for sure. That's for sure. You feel
For
me?
sure, brother, for sure.
Let's go. Let's go. Tighten up. Tighten up. Let's get it. You know what? And I'll go to a word from our sponsors. I'll play this full ad that I didn't play earlier.
Let's pause the noise for a second because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands
Good
real
build, Doc.
debate,
Good build.
real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it.
My heart is bleeding in a pool of blood, I'm drowning. Yeah, my heart is bleeding in a pool of blood, I'm drowning. I look in the mirror now.
Hey, closing remarks, Jesse.
Man, I think that was an excellent build that we had tonight. It was a quick one, but I definitely learned something today. I think this is something that I will have to do some further research in. I might have to reach out to those of knowledge to see their perspective on this. But like I said, the Quran is my moral authority. This is how I believe that there's not going to be no verses in the Quran that I'm going to deny. So if this is how we believe, then so be it.
Hey, okay, and you see, that's why they call him Allah's gracious warrior. His only loyalty is to Allah, and I can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Each their own. That's another episode of Prove Me Wrong with Jesse Valdez, and I was up here to prove him wrong, and I definitely proved him wrong with decorum, class, and style, and I did it while I was fresh as hell. Sipping on some Malibu over here, by the way. But
I accept it. I can't always be right, but inshallah, Allah does make me a majority of the time right. This time, this brother has brought forth some information that I can't refute at the time. So unless I come with some better information or a top sphere that says otherwise, the brother indeed proved me wrong. And like I said, this is how I believe. I totally rock with it 100%. This does not change how I view the Quran or the Hadith.
you know what that one commercial say? I'm not just the president. I'm a client. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, I used to be a debater too. Now, you know. Definitely proved him wrong on his own show. You know, shout out to me.
Hey, don't you get too
You about to? I'm coming out of retirement, Devin. I'm coming out of retirement, so y'all miss me dragging Jesse across the room without breaking a sweat, without putting a wrinkle in my suit. Go
He
ahead
ain't do
and
that,
watch this
y'all. He ain't do
episode
that,
back.
man. I say this was a peaceful decorum. I had one opinion about something, and the brother did show me otherwise, and I'm rocking with the truth 100%.
Hey, I showed him otherwise. Yeah, he thought he was gonna come up. Nah, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna quit messing with you. Yeah, that was another good show, man. If you're looking for another episode of Prove Me Wrong with Jesse Valdez, Allah's gracious warrior. Does it say warrior?
Warrior.
Almost Warrior.
Oh, yeah. I might have.
We
We'll
might
talk
have
about
spelled
that
it wrong
another
a little bit.
time.
So yeah, don't be worrying over there, man. Don't be overthinking it. January 24th. And we're going to close out with an ad from your debate that we have coming up Saturday, January 24th, here at Coliseum of Arguments. Jesse Valdez will be in the ring with Suave Boss. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Assalamu
welcome to
alaikum,
the
y'all.
Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas don't just clash, they collide. This isn't a conversation, this isn't a panel, this is intellectual combat. In one corner, the voice of the radical reinterpretation, the challenger of ancient frameworks, the man who says divinity isn't in the clouds, it's in the creator of civilization itself. Suave Boss, a man bold enough to declare the black woman is God, not a metaphor, not symbolism, foundation. And in the opposing corner, a defender of revelation, a believer in submission to the one, a man standing firmly on divine law and sacred text. Jesse Valdez, a Muslim, a monotheist, a man who says Allah is God, singular, eternal, unmatched. This is not about insults, this is about worldviews. The black woman versus Allah. Who is God? History, identity, power, spiritual authority. Are you not entertained? In every era, there are contenders. In every generation, there are challengers. But once in a while, a force steps forward that doesn't ask for debate. She demands it. Who will debate Naphtali? One of the fiercest female Hebrews on the scene today. A strategist with scripture in one hand and logic in the other. She's been racking up victories coast to coast, panel to panel, platform to platform, leaving broken arguments and silent opponents in her wake. This isn't hype, this is a track record. She doesn't come to exchange talking points, she comes to conquer territory. Now she steps into the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas collide, egos crack, and only the sharpest minds survive. No prisoners, no safe spaces, no intellectual shortcuts. This isn't pro wrestling, this is mental combat. Worldviews tested under pressure, claims weighed, not shouted, receipts required. So the question isn't if she's ready, the question is, who's ready for her? Who will debate Naphtali? Are you not entertained? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coliseum of Arguments. 8 women step into the arena, not to play games, but to wage intellectual combat. This isn't trash talk, this is logic versus logic, sources versus sources, scholarship under the lights. Win a round, win $50 cash. Keep winning and walk out with $500 in the crown. Each competitor represents a brand, an ideology, a team they're ready to go to war on the hill for. Every claim challenged, every source checked, every moment judged. So we ask you, are you not entertained? Enter the Coliseum of Arguments. Only the strongest minds survive. This is Titans Debate League.
And I think he went ahead and dropped off, so I'll go ahead and close out. Another great episode. Drag Jesse around the room for about an hour. Haven't debated in a while. I did that so effortlessly. Yeah, he's about to bring me out of retirement. I think I need to hop back in the ring. Excuse me. So be looking for me on the debate scene coming soon somewhere. Uh, yeah, who wants that smoke? You can get it with me. Come one, come all. And we're going to end with a song from Connie's son, Same Heart. I usually check him out on Spotify. You can listen to him on all platforms. Go over to his Facebook. Uh, Tell him I said what's up. Tell him A1 sent you. And tell him what you think about some of the music over there. And again, this is Connie's son, Same Heart. And remember my motto, treat your smile like your money and never let them steal it.
How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honed it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and they the one taking the aim for it, and I'm the one taking the blame for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating, you gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay for the time that you hit on women, you pay for the time that you flipped on family. Karma gon' come your way, young nigga. It can be any day, young nigga. The way that you played your hand, I forgive you, but back in that sandbox, can't forget you. Killing my mentor, tell your little brother the issue. How did we go to them pistols? Know I'm official, know that I try to uplift you. Kinda knowing that I miss her. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honed it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and I'm the one taking the blame for it, and they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hate, you gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay for the time that you hit on women, you pay for the time that you flipped on family. One more hater really ain't gon' matter, more pale lips, just me, more chatter. Can't hold hands going up no ladder, I fall from up here, then my shit gon' shatter. I'm putting on for my whole family, but we on a different road, family. You told folk that I told family, but I never did fold when the folks had me 100. I never been fake in frontin'. I told younger nigga make him something, you told younger nigga take him something, and he the one that took that from his cousin, and that there got the whole family fussing. Got big sis beefing with her brother, even through it all still know I love you, but every second I think I trust you. I'm smart in the game, you made it hard in the game. I'm loving, I started the lane, I'm hard as they came. Melody target they brain and they draw like a martyr with flame. How far I done came, you was not part of the blame, you was just part of the strain. You was so grimy that niggas ain't wanna come fuck with me, but that's just part of it. And I'm the one taking the blame for it, they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it, till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hate, you gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking, you gon' pay for the time that you hit on women, you pay for the time that you flipped on family. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honed it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart.